So in this video here, we're going to be looking at how we can increase or decrease by percentage. So it's really quite relevant to sort of real world examples and your learning goals, that hopefully you know what the terms are, the discount, markup, etc. You can do increasing or decreasing it by percentage, and you can calculate that. So I've got an example there that I sort of received the other day, and it was an example of $860 television, and it was discounted by 25%. And I had to work out that new cost myself, and I had to have a good understanding of percentage increase and decrease. So before we get into an actual example of that or do that part, it's 3 keywords that I'd love for you to understand or know before we move on, because these are always related to either increasing or decreasing a percentage. So I'll get you to pause the video and write these down. So when we talk about a decrease in price, we often use the words reduction, discount, sale, loss, depreciation, etc. And when we're talking about an increase in price, we either might say markup, profit, or gain. So make sure you understand those terms, because you'll be using them a fair bit, particularly as we go through the examples. So when we're finding the increase or decrease in an item by percentage, there's 2 things that we want to do. The first is that we want to find the percentage of the original marked price. So in this case, I've got an example there. And then secondly, you want to subtract or add that percentage that you found out from the original price. So what if that looks like for an example? So let's just say that there's a 15% markup on $200. So firstly, we need to find what 15% of 200 is. And then because it's a markup, we then add that to the original price of 200. We're going to do a few examples here. Now it is important that you understand, if you've looked at previous videos, of how to multiply our fractions together and work out percentages of quantities, because we're going to be applying some of that now to take it a step further. But we're going to do a step-by-step process here. And we'll start with this first one. So I've got $160 and it is increased by 40%. So what we first want to do is find 40% of $160. And if you've looked at previous videos, we worked out how we could actually find the percentage of numbers. So I'll set that out for you now. So we put it into a fraction by the part. It is as it is out of 100. So 40 out of 100, the of turns to a multiplication. And if we have 160 as a fraction, is 160 over 1. So I can now multiply these 2 fractions together, and that's going to give me my 40%. Okay, so I can sort of simplify this to make it easier. I have now bring it down to 2 over 5 times 160 over 1. I can cross cancel, etc. there, but just for the sake of argument, I'll put the answer of $64. Okay, so 40% of 160 is $64. Now the next step, now that I've got 40%, I'm going to go back and add that to 160, because remember it said it increased by 40%. So now I simply have 160 plus, as it says, 64. Okay, that will give me $222. Okay, so again, the steps that I went through is I found 40% first, and then I added that to the original price. So if we look at now what a decrease would do, is that I need to find 20% of $63, and it's decreasing. So firstly, I need to find 20%. Again, it's out of 100. I'm multiplying that by 63 over 1. That will give me the answer of $12.60. Okay, so now that I have $12.60, which is 20% of 63, I'll then finally subtract that from 63. So I have 63 minus $12.60, and that will give me the answer of $50.40. Okay, so again, the process is you find this part first, so find the percentage first, and then you either add or subtract from the original number. So now what we're going to do is trying to give you a few real world examples, or look at different terminology that we might look at in everyday life. So we're going to do 2 examples here. And the first one is, can you find the cost of the $860 television? We just looked at this one at the start, that has been discounted by 25%. I'm going to underline the word discounted there, because that's going to be the key term that we'll need to understand. And as always, we'll just go through the process. I need to find 25% of 860 first. So I have 25 over 100 as it is a percent times 860 over 1. And I know that that can be converted to a quarter. So really I have a quarter, etc. times from that. Now if I do those calculations, that will give me the answer of 215 Okay, and as before, now that I've got the 25%, I can subtract that. So discounted, as you've hopefully written down before, discounted means a decrease in price. So I'm going to subtract now that from the original total. So I have, therefore, 860 minus 215 gives us the final answer of $645. Now, in the other example that we'll do here, we're buying a microwave for $250. However, it's been marked up by 12%. Now, I know marked up means an increase. So again, I want to find 12% out of 100. Multiply that by 250 over 1. Okay, I can bring that, after doing that working out, that will give me the price of around $30. Okay, and as it is marked up, I now have 250 plus the $30 gives me my new price of $280. So all you're doing is just going through those systems, going through those steps to work out the original percentage, and then adding or subtracting that to the original price. Now, as always, can I please get you to make sure if you have any questions or difficult understanding any of those concepts, can you please make sure you write them down or ask them in person as we go into class, because that'll be a really big help to try and answer those questions as we go through. So again, listing just to the key terms that you understand, following those procedures, and that'll help you with determining the increasing or decreasing in the percentage. Thanks, guys.